Welcome to Viking Voices, the people of Princeton. My name is Elgin Card. I am the superintendent of Princeton City Schools. I'm very proud to be that. So today we have our first edition of the show for the 23-24 school year. And up to my right, I want to introduce Miss Emily Johnson, my super senior co-host. How are you doing, Miss Emily?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am great. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started?
So as you mentioned, I'm Emily Johnson. I'm a senior here at Princeton, and I'm in the music department and jazz and band, and I also run cross country here.
So you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
How do you manage all that?
Depends on the day, but I've gotten pretty good at it.
Okay, well, I appreciate you being my co-host this year.
Yes, of course.
It's
Thank you for having
wonderful
me.
to have somebody here. So
Yes.
I always want to try to honor and show our students off a little bit, and this is a way to do that. So our first guest, two over to my right, is Mr. Michael Uono. How you doing, Michael?
Good, how are you?
Good. And Michael is here because he is a National Merit semifinalist, which is a big deal. So let me give you a little bit of background to that, what that means. Approximately 1.6 juniors across the country take the PSAT. To be a National Merit semifinalist, you have to score in the top 1%. So he's in the top 1% of the whole country as far as juniors go that took the test last year. So that is remarkable. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you like to do in school? What do you like to do outside of school? Things of that nature.
Well, in school, I'm in symphonic orchestra. I've been playing the cello ever since 6th grade, and I really like it in orchestra, especially the music program here in Princeton is very, you have a lot of opportunities available to you, and I think having the skill to play an instrument, especially in high school, it's nice because you have that added skill on top of your academics.
Yeah. So when we were sitting up here talking earlier, Emily, I was asking Michael some questions. Emily said, he's really smart. So tell me how you balance all the things you do in your academics.
Ooh, okay. I'm in a lot of IB AP classes, and those are really tough, And a lot of days I get home from school and I tell myself, I'm gonna take a 10-minute nap. So I set a 10-minute alarm on my phone, go to sleep, it rings, I turn it off, go back to sleep, and all of a sudden, a 10-minute nap turns into 2 hours, And I think that's okay because for one, you know your limits, If you need a nap, take that nap. If you need a break, take that break. It's hard judging a lot of academics, extracurriculars, even responsibilities at home with your family. And so I don't think it's necessarily balancing that. If you have something you want to do, go for it. But it's more so knowing your limits and knowing yourself, and being true to yourself.
That is wonderful. I think that's great advice for not only young people, but for us adults as well. And I also think a 2-hour nap is what your body needs, is what you need to give it, correct? So that is awesome. So being a National Merit semifinalist, everybody took the PSAT. Was that a goal of yours to be a semifinalist, or did you just take it, do the best you could, and let the chips fall?
If I'm being honest, I just took the test. I knew that there was a National Merit Scholarship competition associated with the PSAT, but I didn't enter that room knowing or thinking, oh man, I'm gonna be a semifinalist. So I just took it. I got a 1450 on the PSAT, and National Merit turns that into a selection index, which is a 216, and it turns out the cutoff for Ohio was 216. So I barely made it, but I'm here as semifinalist.
See, I wasn't going to tell all that. The key is you made it. No matter how you made it, you made it. So we're very excited and proud of you. Emily, you have a question for me?
I do. So you said you were in AP and IB classes. Do you have any favorite teachers or teachers you'd like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to Miss Shepard. Miss Shepard, my French teacher. I've known her since my first day here in the high school. I've known her all 4 years now. I'm still in IB French, and she's just a really approachable person. You're never nervous whenever you talk to her, and I think you can talk to her about a lot of different things, not just about in-school things, but outside of school, and my personal life too.
That's wonderful. I think as we talk about all the time, it's hard for kids to learn if they don't have relationships. So it seems like kids will pay more attention when they have relationships with us, and that's what our goal is as a staff, is to build those relationships. So that sounds fantastic. You talked about playing in the band. You talked about what you do in school. Is there any activities you do out of school?
Outside of school, I think, well, I'm part of Key Club, which we do volunteer opportunities across the community, and whether that be like picking out trash at Winton Woods or helping out Matthew 25, we do a lot of things. And I think I really do like volunteering outside of school because, for one, it makes me feel better, like I'm helping these people and I'm providing help, but it also makes me more open-minded, I think. When you volunteer, you gain all these new perspectives in the world in which we live, and I think that's just really valuable as a high school student.
I love that. You'll hear me say quite often, people know me, and I'm a big Ohio State fan, and their former legendary coach Woody Hayes would always say, pay it forward. And I think that's important because when we get to a certain level or whatever we're doing, there's always someone that helped you. And you need to make sure you acknowledge them like you did Miss Shepherd and others for what they've done for you. So anything you want to tell us about your family?
Family, both of my parents are from Indonesia. They got married here. They moved here. My mom moved here in 2001, and they had me in 2007. So would that be first generation? I'm a first generation from immigrants. So yeah, it's just me here. All of my extended family is still in Indonesia, so we visit every now and then. But yeah, it's just the three of us. I don't have any siblings or anything. It's just us here.
Well, that's great. That's great. And you bring a part of the much-needed diversity to Princeton that we're so proud of, so we thank you with that. Emily.
Yes. Okay, the question of the day, the question everyone asks. What do you love about Princeton?
Princeton. I'm going to have to build off of that diversity. I think having such a diverse student, not only student body, but teacher body as well, learning in a diverse environment, it brings new perspectives and experiences to the table. And I think you don't get that at a school where there's less diversity, And yet again, being in a diverse environment, you become more open-minded to the world, and you just see the world through a different lens that you wouldn't have seen the world in if you weren't in a diverse environment. So that's what I love about it.
That's awesome. And I don't know how many more questions after that because he dropped the mic on me right there. So we are very, very proud of you. We will keep watching to see all the great things you're going to do as you move forward and become a proud Princeton alum. So have a great day. And as always, go Vikes.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved.
Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
Welcome to Viking Voices, the people of Princeton.
Here today, Hall of Fame students in a Hall of Fame school.
As always, go Vikes!
Welcome back to Viking Voices, the people of Princeton. We are now here with our National Merit Commended students, and what that means is they are in the top 2 to 4% of all students across the country, so that is very impressive as well. So we're going to let each student introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about themselves, starting to my far right.
Hi, I'm Laura Goodall. I'm a senior, and I play violin in symphonic orchestra and then various orchestras outside of school, and then I'm in AP IB classes.
Hi, my name is Kevin Trin. I'm a senior here. I do bowling in the winter, tennis in the spring, and I also just do AP and IB classes.
I'm Gavin Howell. I'm also a senior here. I take lots of AP IB classes, and I also play water polo.
Great. So you guys are very busy along with your academics. So start from far right again. When you took the PSAT, was this something you were looking at, or just a goal of yours to be a commended student, or did you just do the best you could?
I really wanted to do as best as I could. I didn't study for it as much as I wanted to, but I'm happy with the result.
Great.
To be honest, I think I probably forgot the PSAT was that day, but I just went in and did my best.
Yeah, I just went in, tried to do my best. I don't even know if I was aware of the National Merit Program, to be completely honest. I just went in and did the best that I could.
Well, I think that's a lesson in life to learn from, is always just do your best, and you never know when good things will happen. So we're really, really proud of you there. How do you manage all the things you're doing outside of school and in school with your academics and still do as well?
I really try not to procrastinate. I'm a big procrastinator, but I've been doing better this year, and I think if you can just plan your workout and know what you're going to do each day, it really helps you to not get overwhelmed.
When I get home, I try to open everything, all my homework, all the stuff I have to do right away so that I can't procrastinate. It's right there in front of me. I have to get to it. I have to get it done.
I think my approach is very similar to Michael's, how he came up here and he talked about how it's important to listen to your body. Playing water polo and having all that time taken up with athletics, I'm very tired a lot of the times, and it's important for me to like focus on doing what I need to do, but also doing what I need to do for my body as well, getting the rest that I need. So I just try to get done what I need to do and what I can do based on what I have and how I'm feeling.
Okay, I think that's a great lesson. You know, we all have to listen to how we feel in our body, even though we're busy and we're trying to do the best we can. It's important, and the procrastination is a big deal too, not only for students, but for our adults, that we don't put things off, we get them done, and then we find time for the things we really love to do, which all you guys have, a lot of those things are going on. So my last question for this group is, what do you love most about Princeton?
I really love the music program here at Princeton. I've taken advantage of it my whole time here at Princeton, and it's really helped me have another skill to use in life and find something to put myself towards, as well as academics.
I really love my fellow classmates here at Princeton. It's a really loving community. I have a bunch of friends I can rely on, always talk to, and have fun with, and that's always a great thing to have.
My favorite thing about Princeton is the teachers and the staff. I think the teachers here are very helpful and supportive. They're always there to be available to talk to help you through things. They're all, in my experience, they've all been very happy and willing to help. As long as you reach out and you take the initiative to help, they're always there to help you. And having that resource has been great.
That's awesome. I think one of the greatest things about Princeton is when you come here, people will wrap their arms around you and care about you as family. And as this is my third stint in Princeton, I found that out back in 2003, but I found it out again now back as superintendent. And my daughter actually moved here. We moved here and she's a sophomore, and she changed high schools as a sophomore, which is hard, and the people here have done that. So I think what you're saying, I felt it personally firsthand, and now I'm feeling it for my daughter firsthand, so that is great. So we thank you for being here. Congratulations and best of luck the rest of the year. All right. Have a great day, and as always, go Vikes.
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
Welcome back to Viking Voices, the people of Princeton. And then we now have Ms. Grable, one of our guidance counselors. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I know Ms. Grable has a lot to talk about today, all the great things going on through the guidance department. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, this is year 30 for me in education. I started out as a math teacher, and then I became a counselor, which I fell in love with. Diverted my path for a little bit and became an administrator and did some district positions, but then I came back to where my heart really is. So I'm back to the counseling office. Nice. Have a wonderful family at home, whom I adore, and a couple special animals at home that I love. That's kind of the basics about me.
Great. So when we talk about all the things going on in the guidance department, I know we have FAFSA changes. I know we have some college fairs and things coming up. What can you tell us about those things?
So let's start with our college fair. It's actually college, military, and career fair. We're hoping to engage all the students of Princeton, regardless of what you're wanting to do after you graduate. And that will be held October 19th. It's going to be from 4 to 6:30 here in our cafeteria. We're looking to have at least 50 booths there, represented by colleges anywhere from Ohio State to UC, Cincinnati State. We've got some coming in from out of state this year, and we expect all the branches of the military to be there as well.
I love that.
So that's the first evening we've got coming up. And then we've also got a financial aid informational night coming up November 16th. There are some significant changes coming to financial aid, and I would love to tell you all about them, but we don't know about all of them yet. In fact, I was at the OSU breakfast this morning, go Bucks, and they aren't aware of all the changes yet, and they haven't even released the date that that's going to come out. Apparently the application is going to be available sometime in December now, but they haven't been able to commit to a date. Some of those changes are going to include anything from siblings not being considered as part of financial aid anymore, to something as positive as the questions have been cut in half, and parents are going to have the ability to import their tax information, just to make that whole process easier. So we're a little apprehensive and nervous because we would have expected to see what those changes were by now, but those haven't been released yet.
Okay. So when those changes are released, how will you communicate that to our students and families and community?
Well, we've got the informational night coming up, so we've got someone coming in who's an expert on this, because we won't be the experts until we hear more about it. And we always like parents to hear from the people who know the most. So that'll be the November 16th event. And we would welcome not only senior parents, but I think junior parents might want to come as well, just to get a heads up on it. And I think sometimes when you hear more about it, it relieves some of that nervousness. You know, I know the first time I had to do it as a mom, I was kind of terrified. I didn't want to mess it up for my daughter. But the process, once I got really good at it, only took about 30 minutes. So if they're cutting that process down even more, you know, I think just learning about it will relieve some of that fear for parents and families.
Something you mentioned, is one question I plan on asking. Something you mentioned was you've done a lot of things in education. Teacher, counselor, went to administration, now back to counseling. What made you want to make that move back?
So administration turned out to be a lot of discipline when you're an assistant. And I felt like I spent a lot of my time doing the part that I didn't love. And I actually spent a lot of my time as administrator trying to help teach the students why those behaviors weren't appropriate and how to do a better job so they can stay in school. Now I'm back to what I love, because what I love is helping students get to graduation. I love spending time talking to them about their emotional needs, and I love talking to them about the career planning. You know, students believe that they have to go to college to be successful. And I think one of the things I want my students to know, and all of our students to know, is that there are many opportunities to be successful in life that don't include 4 years of college and the debt that comes with it. You know, there are companies in the Princeton community looking for our outstanding students. And there are amazing opportunities in the military that can also include financial assistance for college. So I want our students to know that there are more things out there for them to be successful in their adult life than just college. But it's the students and that direct positive communication I get to have with them.
You hit the nail on the head for me. What I wanted you to get to was, you know, you try different things, but find what you love and stick to that. And no matter what we do in education, it's always about the students. So we appreciate you in that aspect. Miss Emily, you have anything for us?
Yes. Of course, the question, what do you love about Princeton?
So it's the people. And I can't just say one group of people because I love my students. And it's wonderful getting to experience 4 years with them because, you know, you barely get to know them their freshman year, a little bit more the sophomore year, but by the senior year, some of my students I've been able to build really strong relationships with. The kind where they come back and see me and email me and let me know how things are going once they get out of Princeton. But we also have an amazing staff, and people always mention the teachers because our teachers are outstanding, but our administrative team has been wonderful to work with. Like, they've been consistent for a few years now. And our counseling staff, I love working with them, they're outstanding, but also our office staff. People don't think about how those people who are a little bit behind the scenes, they don't think about how they contribute and how hard they work, but we just have such a wonderful team here at Princeton working with our students. So I guess people's what I love most about Princeton.
Yeah. I guess the people's is important, and I also think, thank you for giving a shout out to everybody. So people don't realize sometimes the teachers get a lot of you talk to the teachers, but we have people in the cafeteria, we have our custodians that keep it nice, we have our grounds people, we have our counselors, we have our paras. It takes the whole team to make Princeton a great place, so thank you for bringing that up. Anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
Yes, couple things. Number one, if your student is a senior, please make sure if they're looking to go to college or even the military, make sure they go into School Links and they can check on their dashboard the school events tab. We've got several college visits coming up where the college reps come here to see the students, so they don't have to go anywhere. The reps just come here to talk about the college opportunities. We've got an HBCU virtual fair coming up. That information will be coming out, and we're also looking at some college visits as well as an HBCU college visit. And for those who have students who are not seniors, just want to let those of you know who have sophomores, juniors, and seniors, We have been out for the last 3 weeks doing transcript checks. We meet with every student. If your student was absent on that day, we'll get them back down to our office. But we sit with each one of them for a few minutes and talk about their progress towards graduation and then what their future plans are. And then upcoming significant dates for seniors who are going to college. November 1st is OSU's early admission application date. If you don't get in by that date, there are several scholarships you will not be eligible for. So if you're a senior looking to go to OSU, that has to be in prior to November 1st. And schools like Miami, UC, and other big schools, their big date is December 1st. And again, if you don't get in for early action, you will not be eligible for some of their major scholarships, like the Cincinnati scholarship for UC, for example.
Well, thank you, and thank you for all that wonderful information, and we appreciate your department, all they do for our kids. So, as we always finish, have a fabulous day, and as always, go Vikes!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC-TV Sports. That's going to be a ball game. Princeton takes the match.
Shot, goal! Brings a tackle at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vikings!
Welcome back to Viking Voices of the People of Princeton. We now have 3 wonderful students here. These students were very helpful. They were the MCs of our Business Community Partners Breakfast. So they did a great job. As we mentioned, we always want to get our students involved as much as possible, because that's why we're here for the students. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about themselves. My far right.
My name is Leslie Torres. I'm a senior in high school this year, and I'm DECA's president this year.
My name is Shamar Lemon, and I'm a junior, and I'm the VP of fundraising. So I run all the money basically, and I make music, and I run a couple businesses.
My name is Sushan Karki, and I'm currently a senior, and this year for DECA, I'm a vice president of marketing.
Who wants to tell the audience what DECA is, for those that don't know?
I'll go ahead. Okay. Well, basically, DECA is a business club that markets and teaches young people like myself how to run a business, the principles of business, factors that go in, and also teach you everything you need basically with business.
So Leslie, we'll start with you. What drew you guys to be a part of DECA?
I've been in Ms. McCowan's business classes since my freshman year, and she's very encouraging to join DECA. So my sophomore year, I decided to compete, and I liked it, so I stayed.
Okay, so compete. Tell us about that.
There's like, you can do role plays. You have projects. What else is there?
Well, with the competition and competing, basically, there's schools all around Ohio that participate in DECA. Specifically off the top of my head, I'm thinking of Harrison. Well, that's usually where we go to compete. And we basically all get scenarios or role play, or you could choose whatever you think you're good at. And there's lots of opportunity within that. And you compete, and basically whoever has the best business idea or whoever markets themselves best to the judges, you get based off of score, and whoever gets the highest score has a chance to go to nationals, finals at state, and then you go to nationals.
Okay. It's a great explanation. I'm going to come check that out sometime. Tell us, what drew you to DECA?
Well, I've always been an entrepreneur ever since I was little. I started a lemonade stand. I was outside. I was one of them. But business was my thing. I never thought I was going to go to college because I truly believe I can run businesses. And that's my life, business.
How about you? What drew you to it?
What drew me to DECA was, I wasn't here for all 4 years of high school at Princeton High School, but when I came in my sophomore year, I did meet Leslie and a few others. I didn't join DECA then because I wasn't in Miss McCown's class, but the next year when I did have her, I was intrigued because Miss McCown is persuasive, and my friends, they kind of, pushed me into it too. But now that I can say that I'm sad that I didn't have Miss McCown's class for 4 years, because DECA is a really unique and fun experience.
I think once again we see the relationship is so important. Building those relationships, getting involved, meeting new people. As been wonderful for you guys. So as we close, tell me what you love about Princeton.
I like the people, how diverse it is. Sushan started a cultural day where people could dress up to represent their culture, and I feel like you learn a lot.
I think that's awesome.
I love the opportunities. It don't matter what you do, sports, academics, business, there's something for you no matter what. Every turn you go, there's an opportunity for you. You just got to look for them.
And for me, I would say that my love for Princeton comes that I hear this a lot, but it's because like people hear our voices here at Princeton. And just like Leslie had stated earlier, I did start the cultural dress day last year, but she's humbling herself because she helped me a lot too last year. So I'm going to shout her out there. But knowing that they're there who can hear us and help us and support us, that's what I really love about Princeton.
It sounds to me student voice is very important to you. We all know how important it is as well. That's why you're here today. So we appreciate your time. Let's finish with have a great day. And as always,
go Vikes!
Welcome back to Viking Voices, the people of Princeton. We now have our esteemed high school principal, Mr. Ron Balmer. Welcome, Mr. Balmer.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me here today.
So first thing I want to ask you is this. I know you've been at Princeton for quite a while, and you've had many different areas you've worked at in Princeton.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about yourself and add that to the answer?
Sure. I've been a part of Princeton for 34 years, and though I know it seems like it's a really long time, it's really gone quick. It's been an evolving role. I've started out as a social studies teacher, taught multiple different social studies classes. I've been a coach in a variety of different sports, but then I felt a calling to be an administrator. And so that's where I've been the last, in some kind of capacity, in the last 8 or 9 years.
That's awesome. And I want to give you kudos for 34 years at one place. That doesn't happen very much anymore. So we're really, really proud of that and happy for you. You've made such a difference here at Princeton. I came to Princeton in 2003 when I first met Mr. Balmer, and I could tell the love he had for Princeton, and he carries that on every day as the principal of the high school. So what are some of the things you like to do away from here? Because people see you here. What do you like to do when you're not here?
Did you say away from here?
Well, I know that's fluid.
Okay.
But every once in a while we get a break.
We do. Well, I love spending time with my family. I have a son who's going to UC currently. I have a daughter who's a freshman. My wife works in the school district format as well. So really take that time period and have that bond with the family. That's the most important.
And I think that's really important in the job you do. This is high school principal is probably the busiest job there is in a school district. And I know that from experience. So when you do have time, it's important to spend it with family and make sure they understand how important they are. What question do you have, young lady?
I have 2 questions for you, actually. So we know you're a huge football fan. So Princeton has a game tomorrow. What do you think the score is going to be?
Well, I'm not going to predict a score, but I'm thinking we're going to win.
I think so too.
Yes, I feel very confident with our coaching staff and our kids, and I live vicariously through the coaches on the field. So yes, I think we're going to win.
And then, what do you love about Princeton?
Well, there's a lot of different aspects I love about Princeton. I love our diversity. I love our communities, our kids. I love the fact that many of our kids are blue collar, that kind of grit. That's how I was raised and where I'm from. And so I identify with a lot of those different qualities. And to me, that's the biggest piece.
Yeah. So let's change it a little bit too. We just got our state report card back here recently, and the district was 4 stars. Yeah. The high school was 4.5 stars. So first of all, I want to congratulate you on that because you're the leader that gets things going, and we know a lot of other people had a lot to do with that. What things did the staff, you and your staff, your administrative staff, your paras, everybody do to help our kids continue to be more successful?
Well, this is a question I've been looking for, quite frankly. I'm so proud of what we've been able to do, and I'm a big we guy. And so number one thing that we believe in our philosophy is consistency leads to greatness. Now you could apply that to anything in life. So for our certified and our classified staff, we've been consistent. We haven't really had much turnover. Now, if that's the case, which we've had, then we can go and implement the things we want, and we've done effectively. And that's true with our counselors, and that's true with our administrators. Because quite frankly, Mr. Card, when I was a teacher here for 26 years, there's probably been 90-some assistant principals during my career as a teacher, and it's hard to be consistent with that.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Consistency is important. I would 100% agree with that. That's how we get better, and we can learn from each other. So I think that is great. What do we need to continue to do? Because we're at 4.5 stars, and while that is fabulous, we always want to be at 5, and I'll put the pressure on myself as superintendent. I know you do as principal. What are we going to do? What do you think we need to do to get that 1/2 star and that full star for the district?
Absolutely. You know, part of the thinking that we have is that we want to do what's best for all of our students, and then what's best for Princeton. So we believe less is best, and let's get great. Let's be great at 4 or 5 things. And so the administration team, we've been together for 5 years, and some things we implemented right away. Things that we wanted to address, like reading and writing across the curriculum. That's attached to MAP, Lexile scores, which then is attached to Nizella articles, which promotes literacy across the board. So that's been a huge thing for us. And the other thing is that we implemented what's called standards-based grading. And so for those of us who may or may not know what that is that standards-based grading is that you master a standard. It's differentiated. You're probably a great math teacher, math student. Yes. Now, for myself, I struggle, you know.
I agree.
So say, for example, if there's a standard, you mastered it, you move on. For me, I'm going to stay at that standard until I mastered it. And I believe that's had a huge role in our success. And lastly is the culture and the PBIS strategies in the building. It's just been a blessing, and the different things that we've implemented, the culture has dramatically improved. Now, we have those 5 things that we've done great on, but then we're going to add 2 or 3 pieces on. We believe that's going to help us attain that 5-star rating.
Great. I think you talked about a lot of important things there, that consistency you just said earlier. And also I think having the same administrative team, having a lot of the same teachers, speaking the same language in the building is so important. So that is a huge accomplishment. So anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
Well, I just feel really blessed to be a part of this district. It's been great for my family and myself. I come to work every day. I'm here at 6 a.m. I look forward to the day. I'm still energized for it. And so we're looking for great things from this senior class as the Vikes on the move forward.
All right. Yes. Well, we appreciate you joining us today. We know you're very, very busy all day. So we'll finish with, have a great day. And as always,
go Vikes!